Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss human nervous system. Introduction to nervous system. The nervous system is defined as complex network of nerve cells fibers that transmits nerve impulse between various parts of the body. नर्वस सिस्टम हमारा नर्व सेल और फाइबर्स से मिलके बनता है और वो पूरी बॉडी में हमारे जो सिग्नल्स आ रहे होते हैं उनको ट्रांसफर्स करते हैं। अब ये देखिए सेंसरी और मोटर न्यूरॉन्स हैं, ये एक सेंसरी न्यूरॉन एक मोटर न्यूरॉन्स। ये स्किन है, इस स्किन ने कोई स्टिमुलाई सेंस किया है और ये मैसेज गया है बाय द हेल्प ऑफ नर्व इम्पल्स बाय न्यूरॉन्स टू सेंसरी कॉर्टेक्स, जहाँ पे इसको सेंस कर रहा है। सेम एज मोटर न्यूरॉन मसल से कोई मैसेज मसल की तरफ आया है ताकि उसे कोई काम परफॉर्म करना है। Our nervous system is consist of two types of cell. One is neuron and one is neuroglia, or you can simply say glial cells. The large number of excitable nerve cells and their processes are called neurons, or simply we can say that neuron is the functional unit of nervous system, which are supported by specialized tissues called neuroglia or neuron cells. This is the structure of neuron. This is cell body or soma. This longitudinal or vertical line is axon, and this is known as axon endings. Axon is consist of myelin sheath. This neuron is called myelinated neuron, and it has high conduction than unmyelinated neuron. Cell body has got Nissl granules or nucleus. Nissl granules in which ribosomes are present, and these extensions are called dendrites, which makes junction with another neurons. Dendrites of another neuron. This junction is known as synapses. What are neuroglia? Neuroglia are glial cells. Some of the glial cells are present in central nervous system while other are present in peripheral nervous system. The glial cells that are present in central nervous system are oligodendrocytes, astrocytes, microglia and epidermal cells. And the cells that are present in peripheral nervous system are satellite cells and Schwann cells. Schwann cells help in regeneration of nerve fibers. Our brain is consist, even spinal cord is consist of gray matter and white matter. The interior of the nervous system is organized into gray and white matter. Gray matter is mostly consist of nerve cells that are embedded or covered by a connective tissue that is known as neuroglia. It has gray color. White matter consists of nerve fibers embedded in neuroglia. It is white in color due to the presence of lipid material in the myelin sheath of many nerve fibers. Why white matter is white? Because there is a presence of lipid material in the myelin sheath. This is the frontal section of bone. Inner side is white matter and the outer lining or border line of the brain is called gray matter. And this is the spinal cord. Note the difference that in brain inner matter is gray white matter while in spinal cord inner matter is gray matter. That is the difference. The outer portion is gray matter but in spinal cord inner matter is gray matter. Now nervous system has got two components, or we can say that our nervous system is divided in central nervous system, which is consist mainly of brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system that is consist of cranial nerves and spinal nerve and their associated ganglions. Cranial nerves are 12 in numbers, spinal nerves are 31 in number. Each cranial nerve has got its name, but there is no naming on spinal nerves. Now, broad classification. Nervous system is classified into two: peripheral nervous system and central nervous system. Central nervous system is again consists of two: brain and spinal cord, whereas peripheral nervous system is divided into autonomic and somatic nervous system. Again, autonomic is divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic. Brain has got three parts: forebrain, midbrain or hindbrain. Now forebrain is divided into two: telencephalon, diencephalon. Midbrain is mesencephalon, whereas hindbrain is metencephalon and myelencephalon. Telencephalon is consist of cerebral cortex, basal ganglia, hippocampus, and amygdala. Diencephalon is consist of thalamus and hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is the center for all these centers. Mesencephalon is consist of tectum and tegmentum, whereas metencephalon is consist of pons and cerebellum, whereas myelencephalon is consist of medulla. This is the classification of nervous system. Now brain. Our brain lies in the cranial cavity and it is continuous with the spinal cord through foramen magnum. Remember that spinal cord never passes from foramen magnum but medulla passes from foramen magnum. Then medulla at the level of C1 vertebra convert into or forms spinal cord. It is surrounded by three meninges, dura mater, arachnoid mater and pia mater. These are the meninges of spinal cord. These are the layer. This is the pia mater and the space between arachnoid mater and pia mater is subarachnoid mater. This white layer is arachnoid mater and this is the dura mater is again divided into two, meningeal dura mater and periosteal dura mater. Subarachnoid space, there is a fluid known as cerebrospinal fluid and it is present in subarachnoid space between pia and arachnoid mater. Cerebrospinal fluid that surrounds the blood in the brain in the subarachnoid space. Now spinal cord. Spinal cord, we can say that it is a continuation of medulla oblongata below foramen magnum. The spinal cord is situated within vertebral canal. Our vertebral column is consist of vertebral canal. In vertebral canal there is spinal cord, or we can say that vertebral canal is formed from vertebral foramen and it is roughly cylindrical. It is begins superior at the foramen magnum in the skull where it is continuous with medulla oblongata of the brain. It terminates inferiorly in lumbar region, but there is contradiction that in adult it ends spinal cords end at the lower border of L1 vertebra, lumbar 1 vertebra, but in child it ends at the upper border of L3 vertebra. Below the spinal cord tapers off into conus medullaris. Conus medullaris is the lower end of spinal cord, we can simply say that, and it ends between L1 and L2 vertebra. Phylum terminali is the extension of pia mater that descends to the coccyx. This is spinal cord, this is conus medullaris where spinal cord ends, and this is subarachnoid space, this is phylum terminal that is extended up to coccyx region. Now structure of spinal cord. Spinal cord is consist of inner core of gray matter, while in brain the outer core is gray matter and inner core is white matter, but in spinal cord inner core is gray matter and outer covering is of white matter. It is seen as cross section as an H-shaped pillar with anterior and posterior gray columns or horns from where the nerves arises, united by a thin gray commissure containing the central canal, which we can also call as vertebral canal. The white matter may be divided into anterior, lateral, posterior white columns. Now this is an H-shaped. If we see the transection of a spinal cord, this is H-shaped and the inner core is made up of gray matter and this is the central canal. Autonomic nervous system, that is further divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is the part of nervous system with the innervation of involuntary structures. We can divide autonomic system into two, sympathetic and parasympathetic. There are afferent and efferent nerve fibers. If afferent nerve fibers which carry messages from receptors to central nervous system. Effectors are nerve fibers are those fibers which carry signals from CNS to effector organs. This is the main difference in parasympathetic and sympathetic, how they affect our organs. Parasympathetic constrict whereas sympathetic dilates pupil. Parasympathetic is mostly stimulant but it inhibits also. Sympathetic inhibitory mostly but it stimulates also. Sympathetic accelerate the heart whereas parasympathetic inhibits the heart. Parasympathetic constrict bronchi whereas it relaxes bronchi. This is the difference. You can go through it. These are the vertebrae. This is cervical vertebra. Cervical vertebra are from C1 to C7. Then arises thoracic vertebra. Thoracic vertebra are from T1 to T12. Lumbar are from L1 to L5. Then sacral. Sacral is also S1 to S5. Then coccyx. Now peripheral nerves. Peripheral nerves mostly consist of cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves are 12 in pairs which leave the brain and pass through foramina skull. There are foramina which are present in the skull which cranial nerves pass, and there are 31 of spinal nerves which leave the spinal cord and pass through intervertebral foramen. Intervertebral foramen, the foramen which is in between two vertebrae. Now cranial nerves. Cranial nerves are mostly 12 in numbers. Among them 1, 2 and 8 is the pure sensory nerve. Olfactory, optic and vestibulocochlear nerve is pure sensory nerve. Whereas 3 oculomotor, 4 trochlear, abduction 6 cranial nerve and 11 and 12 accessory and hypoglossal nerve. These 5 cranial nerves are pure motor nerves, whereas the remaining that are 5 trigeminal nerve, vagus nerve and accessory nerve and facial nerve. These 4 nerves are mixed nerve. And the parasympathetic among these cranial nerves are, so among these 3, 7, 9, 10, these 4 nerves, 1 and 2 cranial nerves nucleus are present in cerebral hemisphere where 3 and 4 are present in midbrain. 5, 6, 7 are present in pons, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 are present in medulla oblongata. Now the spinal nerves are named according to the region of vertebral column which they are associated as. 8 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 sacral and 1 coccygeal. Spinal nerves are named according to the region of vertebral column. Our vertebral column is divided into 5 regions mainly: cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral and coccygeal nerves. Each spinal nerve is connected to the spinal cord by two roots, anterior roots and posterior roots. The anterior roots consist of bundle of nerve fibers carrying nerve impulse away from the central nervous system. Such nerves are known as efferent fibers. Efferent fibers are those which carry information away from the central nervous system. These efferent fibers that go to the skeletal muscle and cause them to contract are known as motor fibers. Motor fibers is efferent fibers, but it is specific for muscle and it causes the contraction of skeletal muscle. That's why its name is motor fibers. The posterior fibers or posterior roots is mainly afferent root because it carry information from receptors to the central nervous system, or we can say that they have sensory fibers because they sense. अगर हमने अपना हाथ एक गर्म चीज पे रख दिया है तो हमारे रिसेप्टर्स जो है वो सेंस करेंगे एंड द इंफॉर्मेशन विल go to the central nervous system by the help of neurons in the form of nerve impulse. That's why it is called as sensory fibers, and this is the function of afferent fiber. Plexus, the anterior rami of the, there are two rami in the spinal cord, anterior rami and posterior rami. The plexus that are formed from anterior rami. Posterior rami does not form any plexus. The plexus are cervical and brachial plexus, lumbar and sacral plexus. C1 to C4 vertebra forms the cervical plexus, whereas C5 to T1 forms the brachial plexus, T1 to L1 forms lumbar plexus, and so on sacral plexus S2, S3 and S4. Thoracolumbar outflow is also known as sympathetic outflow, whereas cervical and sacral outflow is known as parasympathetic outflow. Dermatome. Dermatome. An area of the skin supplied by nerves form a single spinal nerve root is called dermatome. If this part of the skin is supplied by a single spinal nerve root, this is called as dermatome. Thank you very much.